Okay, it's me again, Brad. Today I'm going to show how to graft roses. Alright? What you want to do, you want good healthy stems. Try not to get any diseased or weak or small. About maybe big around as a pencil to graft. And what you do, the way I've always grafted roses is what's known as a T-bud. So it's not like you're grafting the end of a stem. I'm actually grafting just under the bark. Alright? What I have done a few years ago is grafted this rose right here. I don't know exactly what variety it is, but you can see the difference in the bark. This is the type of rose it's grafted to. That's the grafted rose, and right here you can see where I've grafted it to it. See there? This is called the bud union. It'll swell up, and over here, up here at the top, you can see what the rose looks like. This time of year, this is July in Alabama. The roses are, you can kind of tell, they're kind of under a little bit of heat stress. I've got a little behind on my spraying, so they gotten a little bit of black spot, especially with our humidity here. It promotes fungus diseases. If you're wondering what this aluminum foil is, that's my attempt to do what's air layering, and I might make another video of that later. But they didn't do as well for me. But anyway, what I'm going to show you how to do is T-bud roses. What I've already done is I've collected some stems from up there of that rose, and this is one here. This is an example. A long stem like that right there. This is what's known as the bud eye. That's what will grow into a new stem. Now a leaf would come from right here, but they've already been picked off. Now try to remove any thorns, or technically those are called prickles. Pick them off, and I cut it into a little section about yay long, like that. Alright, so something like that to work with. If it's a little too long, I'm going to always cut off more. And so actually I probably will just a little bit more. To about like that. Now what I use is a razor blade, box cutter, whatever you call it. Make sure it's a good, fairly decently clean blade, very sharp, as sharp as you can get it. But you have to be very careful that you don't, cut yourself, so be cautious. Sometimes when you're cutting through the wood, it don't want to cut, and then it'll slide through and you'll slice your thumb, finger, whatever open. So be careful. What I do, this is the bottom of the stem, this is toward the top, the bud eye points up, and I go about a ½ an inch below that and cut through, and I want to go just to the middle part of the stem, and it looks sort of spongy, and I'll show you here in just a second. I want to just barely scrape that. Cut up from the bottom. And if you do this several times, you'll kind of know about how deep to go. Alright, as you can see, the spongy material, that's the middle of the stem. I don't need that much, I need just a little bit. So try not to touch inside here if you can. I tend to have better luck with it if I don't. Go through. It's real easy. Cut that off. Now, the more you practice with this, the better you'll get. Me, I tried several times before I got my first graft to actually work, or they call it to take. Alright? If I could go a little bit deeper, that'd be better. Like I say, you just barely want that middle part. And you want it nice and level, nice and flat. You don't want any bumps on one side, because it needs to have good connection inside the wood. Okay, now that I've done this, and if I've gotten any dirt on it, try to scrape that off as best you can, because you don't want any kind of disease to get on there. Now that it's exposed, I need to do this very quickly, fairly quickly, without messing up, because the air, I don't want that to dry out. So I'll go over here. Okay, I'm going to set this down with the inside of the bark facing up, because I don't want to get any disease on that if I can help it. I come over here, and this is a leaf of a rose. These are leaflets. It goes into here, and down in there, you see there's the bud eye, like what I would use to graft. This is called a Dr. Huey rose. It's a very common rootstock. So remove any leaves that would be in your way. I've already removed the prickles. To remove a prickle, you can just push to one side like that. So try not to split the bark if you can help it. Generally, it's not a good idea to remove those because it makes an open wound for disease. But generally I do if they're just right in my way, because I don't want to get cut. And as far as the anatomy of the stem is concerned, this is a node, and this is a node. This is called an internode. Space in between. You want to put the graft on in an internode. Alright? And the best time to do this is this time of year, at least in Alabama, like when it's very hot. It's July and August. The bark will peel back very easily and it'll be nice and smooth underneath. If it's very rough, it's probably not going to work. Alright? And another good thing to do would be to water the rose bush real good the night before. And you could probably do this in the morning, might be a little bit better than this time of the day. Right now it's probably about 12:30 in the afternoon. Probably be okay. But what I do is I make a capital T cut. Take my box blade, cut through there, go down about an inch, cut right there. And then I take it, if it's very sharp, you can just take and just at the top of the cut and press into it and just kind of roll it just a little bit, about that length. And then I take my box blade, put in there, and gently pull that back. Alright. Now, if you look inside here, I don't know if you can see it very well or not, it's nice and smooth in there. That's what you're looking for. Alright. Now, I take my little bud eye. Oh, here it is. My bad. I take my little bud eye. Now, this is actually falling on the floor, so it might not take, but I hope it does. We'll see. Take this that I've cut off. Now, generally I would do this a little bit quicker than this, but since I'm explaining it, it's taking a little bit longer. I hold it open with a box blade on one side, slide it in a little bit, hold the other side open, slide it in, and you push it down like that. Push it all the way down to where it gets to the bottom. Push a little bit further, and then see how it starts to split open on its own? That means it's good and tight down in there. So that you have about a ½ an inch below, which you already have here, about the same length up here. You have a little bit sticking up above it. So I take my box blade and I cut it off even with the top of the cut. Very careful not to bruise the stem. And I want to be very careful that I don't press so hard that I cut through and cut this main stem off. If you look, see it's nice and level right there. Now normally what I use is electrician's tape, but I currently don't have any. So just any kind of good sticky tape. I take this, I can take it and maybe split it. Try not to let it fold in on itself because it'll stick real bad. Take one of these and just set it aside. Take this here. I try to use the straight edge. Right here, I push down here and stretch it very tight. That's why I like electrician's tape, because it's sticky and stretchy. Do not cover the bud eye, because that's the part that's going to grow if it takes. It may take a few weeks to know if it's going to work or not. I'll take my other one and wrap on the top. Being very careful not to cover the bud eye. Stick it and stretch good and tight like that. Alright. And that's really all there is to it. Like I say, you may not get it on your first try, but keep practicing, and when you finally do get it to work, it's very, very exciting. At least it was for me. And these are two that I've done. This is one I did a little while ago, and this is another one. So that's pretty much really all there is to it. Alright.